All right, check this out here. Crews working throughout the night to salt the roads. This video was taken a few hours ago right outside of the station off of Highway 55. We had that round of snow move in last night. Looks like the roads this morning aren't that bad. The side streets, maybe not so much, but the main highways and roads looking good this morning.
Going to bed last night after the rain and then the snow, thinking the worst for this morning. But like you said, it's not that bad, which is great for Friday morning. It's St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day to you if you celebrate. Let's get out to Guy. I know there was a ton of parades and festivities this weekend.
Yeah, and the weather this weekend will be nice. Now, a few flurries possible this afternoon. Also, a few flurries possible tomorrow. But trust me, far more dry time than any flurries, if any. And you can see that here on your 7-day. Temperatures in the mid-20s, blustery tomorrow. Sunday, just looking into the forecast, 33. That's going to be the sunniest. We kick off spring on Monday. A few showers possible Wednesday, and the warmest day on Thursday. Coming up, I'm taking a look at those cold temperatures we're waking up to this morning.
Guy, thank you. 6:02. Here's a look at the roads this morning. Let's give you a live look, though, of a crash that popped up in the North Metro out of Little Canada, 35E and northbound. You can see some flashing lights. The camera kind of blowing around us, blocking that right shoulder. Not causing any slowdowns just yet, but we'll keep our eye on this and have an update coming up in a few minutes. And as we mentioned, not too bad, but there could be some slick spots on the roads. Minnesota State Patrol actually reported more than 120 crashes during last night's rush hour. There was also more than 100 spinouts, and one of those crashes involved a bus. Take a look at this video. You can see the Metro Transit bus. It got stuck near 94 and 35 yesterday. Roads look clear, but again, just remember to take a little extra slow this morning. Well, just a few hours from now, St. Patrick's Day festivities will begin. In fact, they've already kind of started in certain spots in the Twin Cities Metro. But if you do anything, you're going to have to bundle up this weekend.
That's because this St. Patrick's Day is set to be the coldest in 30 years. The cold pushing in ahead of a busy weekend in St. Paul. CC is live at the Xcel Energy Center right now. And CC, the cold pushes in ahead of this very, very busy weekend.
Yeah, that's true. And hopefully the thousands of people that are going to be down here in St. Paul will maybe warm things up a little bit. But event organizers are really encouraging you to plan ahead today, because once everything gets going, it's going to be really hard to navigate in downtown St. Paul. For one, I mean, you can come out to some bars and restaurants as early as 8 o'clock this morning to start those St. Patrick's Day festivities before the parade kicks off. This weekend, the city is also welcoming the NCHC Frozen Face-Off hockey tournaments, where 4 of the country's top college hockey teams will vie for their championship tournament. Many businesses downtown say these events must go on, even though winter is letting up.
Our bars and restaurants, I know they've been setting up for over a week. Many of them have large tents and are getting ready for big crowds.
Wishful thinking there. I'm wishing winter was letting up, especially on a Friday on St. Patrick's Day. But event organizers say that you should really try to avoid driving down here if you can, and really take advantage of those ride shares and also any public transportation. Guys.
Yeah, we all wish winter would let up here, but it's not going to stop people from getting out and partying
not at all.
out there in St. Paul today. Cece, thank you.
Hey guys, we do some traffic. Now we're going to do the live desk because we just got an urgent update from the Minnesota BCA. They say that there's a missing 8-year-old up in Cass Lake, Minnesota. The name of the young man is Alfred Desarlet III. He said he left his residence at 140th Street Northwest and Wakanabo Drive Northwest. That was 5:30 yesterday. Here's a picture of the young man right here. They say he's 8 years old. And the Leech Lake Tribal Police Department is requesting your help in locating this missing child, Alfred Desarlet. Again, 8 years old, 4 feet tall, about 80 pounds. This is what he looks like, wearing a black Timberland jacket, jeans, and multicolored Puma shoes. They don't know the direction of his travel, so they're asking for help today in finding this young man. Back to you guys.
All right. Yeah, hopefully we can bring him home. Chris, thank you. New this morning, 3 people are in custody after a crash involving a Minneapolis police cruiser.
Yeah, we actually have new video from the scene. Take a look. It happened at 35th and Aldrich at around 10:30 last night. We confirmed with a sergeant on the scene after the crash, 3 people in the other vehicle took off running. They were arrested. No police officers were hurt.
Well, this next story just awful. Right now, St. Paul police are looking for the person who shot and killed a pregnant woman earlier this week. Investigators say the woman was shot Monday blocks from the state capitol near St. Anthony Avenue and Marion Street. She was rushed to the hospital in a private vehicle and recently died. St. Paul police are asking anyone who may have seen anything or has information on this to call them. In a few hours, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is back in court. He and his ex-wife, Kelly, face sentencing for tax evasion. They are charged on 9 counts of aiding and abetting tax fraud. Prosecutors allege the couple failed to file tax returns, pay state income taxes, and underreported their income over several years.
Happening right now, cleanup is underway after a radioactive chemical leak at Xcel's nuclear energy plant out of Monticello. Xcel says 400,000 gallons of water containing the chemical tritium leaked into the ground site back in November. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency says the leak hasn't left the grounds of the facility or contaminated any drinking water. State agencies say they are monitoring this leak.
Sun Country is facing a lawsuit saying it fired about a dozen employees for forming a union. The airline pushed back, telling the Star Tribune it did not do that and would have never fired employees for forming or trying to form a union. Those employees, mostly ramp agents, voted to unionize back in January, but the airline and the union don't have a formal contract yet.
In just a few hours, Governor Walz is expected to sign a bill into law giving Minnesota students free school meals. House lawmakers okayed language changes in the bill made by the Senate yesterday. The bill would give every student free breakfast and lunch, no matter how much money their family makes.
At 10:30 this morning, 6 local teacher unions will be at the state capitol filing their bargaining paperwork. That will kick off negotiations on the 2-year contracts between their educators and their districts. The educators are also calling on the legislature to fully fund online learning K-12 education. The state's financial contribution to district budgets is a key piece of every union's negotiations with school districts. Well, the day is finally here. It is St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day to everyone out there who celebrates.
Of course, we can't talk about St. Patrick's Day without talking about the parade and all things Irish that are happening over in St. Paul. And that is where we find our Sharon Yu, who is live at Bennett's Chop and Rail House off of 7th Street. The party's already happening behind you, Sharon.
Yes, it is, but I am upset because I was promised a Guinness mascot, and the mascot's not here. And you guys all know mascots don't talk, so I had a lot of Guinness talking points that I researched prior to this morning show hit. But you know what? That's okay, because we have Jamie from Visit St. Paul, and she knows everything about all the stuff that's happening, not just today, but this weekend too. So is there a parade, a little parade?
There's a little something happening downtown St. Paul this weekend. Yes, the parade is at noon today, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah. But what about for the folks who, don't necessarily want to go to the parade? There's some other things that are happening before and after.
This is a great example. So as early as 8 a.m., you can come out here and get your festivities started. There's tent parties all downtown. You'll start to see those huge tents as you go down West 7th. At 10 a.m. at Landmark Center is the Irish celebration. So especially if you're looking for somewhere warm, go in there, dance, music, vendors, things to do. And then, the parade's at noon, travels along from Rice Park to CHS Field, and from 1 to 3 is the ballpark hoolie. From there, make your way through the city. Everyone gets in on the fun, so you're sure to find something.
And that hoolie, too, is a fundraising effort, right, for next year's parade?
Absolutely. So every ticket you buy goes to help make this event happen every year. So.
Yeah, and just real quick, too, Jamie, can we talk about, we're indoors, we're appreciating how it's cold outside, but, despite the cold, this is really nice to just finally gather after several years.
That is so true. We were just talking about, just 3 years ago, we didn't have a choice, and we had to stay home on St. Patrick's Day, so come on out. A little cold is not going to keep us from celebrating this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning,
you.
Jamie. And I got to drop that Guinness fact, the one I researched. Apparently, after 2018, Guinness is officially vegan and vegetarian. So that is something to keep in mind if you're going to be out there today. Back to you.
This is why I love that beer so much.
It's good for your health.
It's healthy. All right, Sharon, we'll check back soon. Continue to have fun. I'm looking forward to more Guinness facts as well.
Yeah, got to sprinkle them in throughout the morning here.
Yes. Hey, if you are planning on celebrating St. Patty's Day, you're going to want to grab layers because it is going to be cold outside. Guy, the parade is today, so what is it going to be looking like for folks who are going to go?
Yeah, it's going to be a cold one today, but, like that lady just said, cold shouldn't be, stopping us, especially this late in the season. We've seen colder. It's just right now, we're talking about below average temperatures, well below average temps too. So take a look at your 3-day forecast as we get into the weekend. 17, but it's going to feel like either at 0 or below for the entire day, just because of how blustery things have been, and will continue to see some breezy winds throughout the day and some gusty winds throughout the day. Now, winds won't relax until about Sunday. Even tomorrow is cold and blustery. Average high Sunday 43, sunshine pops out. We're still below average on Sunday, but 33 with some sunshine. In my opinion, that's my pick this weekend. Right now, temperatures at around 10 degrees, feels like 9 below. Northwest winds at 20 miles per hour. The next 12 hours, a little sunshine to start the day ahead. Clouds roll in later this afternoon. A few flurries fly. Tonight, clouds in the forecast, but still great for any plans or any Friday night plans that you may have. Winds are still whipping from the northwest tonight and waking up tomorrow morning to some cloud cover and even some flurries possible tomorrow morning. So my weather headlines, simply put, considerably cold today through tomorrow morning, just blustery. Wind chills remaining near or at below 0. Snow chances, and I'll say snow showers. We're not tracking any storms or anything like that. North of 94 later today with some flurries possible. South of 94. I have some maps coming up and more on that here in just a little bit.